What's up, YouTube? It's Russell and Russell. You guys subscribe right at the top, thumbs up the video, and leave a comment at the bottom. So the other day I was on someone's Twitter page, and they had left a comment on what they heard on the radio station, and it was a question, and it was, if Biggie was still alive today, which his anniversary of his death, his 14th anniversary of his death, was a few days ago, if he was still alive, would he still be messing with Diddy, and would they still be a team together? And now this question really made me think about, if Biggie was really alive, would he still be with Puff, and would he still be with BadBoy? Now this is a really hard question to answer, so I would like to know what you guys think first of all. And what I have to say is this: if Biggie was still alive, that's a hard thing to answer, because if he was still alive, we see all these people that Diddy was that was signed with Diddy who were a part of the mix when Biggie was still alive, and when Biggie was alive. If Biggie was still alive, they might still be signed with BadBoy. BadBoy record label might be a totally different thing as it is right now. But what the type of character that Diddy has right now as a person, he has a very shady, sneaky, snake type attitude where he uses you as much as he needs, and when he sees that there's no need for you, he moves on to the next, and he just drops you. He does this with a lot of his artists. If you look at how many artists that he has had to surpass 3 albums, it's only 3 people. Mace has released 3 albums. Faith Evans has released, I think, 3 or 4, and 112 released 3 or 4 albums. And Diddy himself has released about 5 or 4 albums. Other than that, every other artist that he has ever signed only released 2, 1, or none albums. His character shows him to be not a loyal person. As we see with the multiple TV shows he has had, he fired a lot of people. For instance, with Danny Kane, he fired members of Danny Kane just so he could get one person to make up the new group that he's with right now, Dirty Money. And you could say, no, he only did that, it just happened that Dawn was a part of Dirty Money. No, but if you look at the steps, if Danny Kane were still together and Dawn was doing Diddy Dirty Money, the group would still have broken up, because who wants to sit there and wait to release a new album while one of the group members is on break doing something with someone else? So that's another sign showing that he only wants to use you as much. He takes as much resources as he can from you or from his artist, and as soon as he doesn't need you anymore, he just drops you and just moves on to the next. It seems as though right now, though, that he's trying to replace the absence of Biggie with multiple other rappers in the game. For a lot of people think the only reason why he's messing with Rick Ross is because Rick Ross is at the top of his game right now. The only reason why he's messing with Young Money is because Young Money is real famous and the it thing right now. And Diddy, what he usually does is move on to the next. A couple of people I asked, a lot of people said no, they don't think that Diddy and Biggie would still be. One person said that they don't think that Biggie would even last into this new era of hip hop and era of rap music. I'm not sure about that. With his death, we don't know what could have happened. But as we look at his singles that he released after his death, weren't as popular. Like his first album that he released wasn't as popular as his past stuff. It didn't chart as high as it should have, being that it's a Biggie song or a Biggie album. But his movie did pretty well. It shows his relevance when his movie does well, but we don't know if he'll be relevant enough to be still rapping right now and be competing with the younger cast. Same thing with Tupac, but this video is about Biggie right now. So we don't know if he will even still be relevant enough to even be in the rap game, and if he wasn't relevant, I don't think Diddy will even want to have him on his label. As we see with a lot of artists, like Faith Evans had a huge career back in the mid to late 90s, and as soon as she dried up, Diddy didn't want anything to do with her. Same thing with 112. They had a huge early 2000s with Peaches and Cream and all those songs that they had back then. As soon as they start to wither away, he drops them. And then with Mace, when Mace came back into the rap game, Mace didn't want anything to do with Diddy. And Mace and Diddy were together for like forever, you know? And for Mace to not want to work with Diddy anymore and say, let me get out of the contract, Diddy didn't even sign a contract to release him. Yeah, I know the contract says that, you know, you have to make a certain amount of records, you have to make me a certain amount of money, I gave you an advance. But then again, if that's your friend, and he doesn't want to mess with you anymore, he wants to move on and have his life go on with another record label because you're not fulfilling his needs, that's the problem there. So I would feel as though the same problem might happen with Biggie. But then again, the whole BadBoy empire hasn't been the same since Biggie's death. It has never been up to the same par as it was back in the day. You know, when there was a big empire, there's no other music empire close to it. I mean, we have Murder Inc. and we have Young Money right now, but Young Money doesn't have the same flair as BadBoy record label has had. You know, there's no artist that's as big as Biggie was right now from Young Money. There's no one who has such a culture impact as BadBoy did when it was at its peak, even in the mid-2000s. You know, everyone was wearing Sean John, everyone was wearing the velour outfit, and, you know, his name was everywhere. He was branding himself and his record label, and yet there's no other record label that's doing it now. And I don't know if Biggie was still alive, if BadBoy record label would be something different. I mean, there's a lot of artists on the record label that aren't getting shine, who might not, and there's a lot of negative attention to BadBoy record label with a lot of people saying when you get signed to there, you get raped by Diddy, not literally, but by the fact that he retakes all the stuff from out of you, your resources, and as soon as you make a hit, he wants you, and as soon as you don't do too well, he drops you. You know, a lot of people were making fun of Day 26. Myself, I was thinking that people were going to say Day 26, that's how many days they're going to realize that they're not getting the best deal. You know, a lot of people who have been in the path of BadBoy and Diddy, they realize that, you know, they don't get the best outcome working with him. A lot of people warn a lot of new artists about working with Diddy, but you never know if Biggie was still alive, if Diddy would have become a different person. He might have wanted to make his record label something different and continue the empire and continue to grow and have newcomers. I'm not hating on Diddy or his success because he has a really talented ear and he's a great A&R, finding out new talent with his making the band shows and just different artists that he has coming out. But let's say if Rihanna were signed to BadBoy, I doubt that she would even have the career that she has now. I think he would have dropped her as soon as her first album came out because it didn't do so well. The first album didn't do so well. I don't think we would have been able to see the develop of her because it looks as though as soon as the artist doesn't do good, then he just drops them. So let me guys know what you think. Would you think that if Biggie was still around, BadBoy record label would be something different? You guys think the rap game would be different? Do you guys think that Biggie would still even be with Diddy, or do you think Diddy would have just dropped him, or Biggie would have just moved on with his career and his life? And let me guys know what you think. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, leave a comment about